I received a lot of questions from people wondering whether the JBL speaker upgrade is worthwhile in the all-new Tundra, and in today's video I'm going to try to answer that question. But real quick, let's just do a run through of the speaker options available on the Tundra. Your base SR model comes standard with a 6-speaker system. The next trim level is the SR5, and then the limited model, those two come standard with a 9-speaker system, but on the limited model like this, you have the option to upgrade to the JBL system. And then the Platinum, the 1794 edition, the TRD Pro, and the Capstone models, those all come standard with the JBL system. As many of you know, I previously had a 2016 Tacoma which also had the JBL speaker upgrade, and in that case I wasn't impressed with the system. It had poor sound quality, it was an expensive upgrade, and just wasn't worth it overall. But this system's a lot more powerful. It's got 12 speakers compared with 7 in the Tacoma, and you're going from 440 watts to 1200 watts. As far as speaker placement goes, we've got 3 speakers on the dashboard. 1, 2, 3, 1 speaker in each A-pillar, 1 in each front door. We've got our amplifier under the driver's seat. And then in the back, we've got 2 speakers in each door and a subwoofer behind the seat. Now I know what you guys really care about is what the JBL system sounds like, and unfortunately I'm not going to do a demonstration in this video because I don't feel like it would provide an accurate representation of the sound quality of the system. If I play music right now, it's going to be distorted by my microphone, and it's going to be distorted by whatever listening device you're using, and depending on what you're listening to this video on, results are going to vary widely. And so I don't really feel like it's useful information to do that. I know some of you guys are going to be disappointed, but I hope you guys can take my word for it in this case. That brings us to 3 different criteria that I want to look at real quick. The first one is volume, and that's one of the areas where the Tundra really excels. Because we've got a really small cab and 12 speakers, you get a really nice sound distribution, very consistent sound. One of the best things about having a lot of speakers is to get a lot of volume inside, you don't have to turn the volume up as far, compared with, say, the 6-speaker system in the SR model, where you're going to have to turn it up a lot louder to get the same volume. You're going to get inconsistent sound in the cabin, and as a result, that's one thing about this system that is a real highlight. The next thing I wanted to look at real quick is bass. The subwoofer in the Tundra is so-so. I wouldn't say that it's amazing, but there are a lot of rattles in the Tundra when I've got a song with a lot of bass anyway, and so even if you had a really good subwoofer and speakers that had a lot more bass, I'm not sure that you would really want to crank that up anyway because you'd get so many rattles and vibrations. I find myself often turning the music down when there's a lot of bass, or turning the bass down when I'm listening to a song that has more bass. So that's unfortunate. I feel like maybe they could have done a little bit more with sound insulation in the vehicle to compensate for the additional bass that you get with the subwoofer. I suppose that's something you could add aftermarket, take off the door panels and put some of that sound insulation in. But unfortunately, in stock configuration, that's one downside of this system. And I don't think that a more powerful subwoofer would really solve anything. The third and final thing that I want to look at real quickly is the overall sound clarity. And this was by far the thing that bothered me the most about my system in the Tacoma. Unfortunately, it kind of bothers me with the Tundra as well. Certainly not at the same level. This system does offer much better clarity than the Tacoma, but I think the main reason for that is, again, because we've got 12 speakers. And so when you're listening to something, you don't have to turn it up as loud to get the same volume inside the cab. And as a result, you don't lose that clarity. But even so, when you've got it turned up pretty loud, it starts to lose some of that clarity. And so that's one area where this system could definitely be a lot better. So in summary, the JBL system in this all-new Tundra is leagues ahead of what I experienced in my 2016 Tacoma. Going from 7 speakers to 12 speakers and 440 watts to 1200 watts, this system is obviously a lot more powerful, and so it's a lot louder. Sound is better distributed in the cabin, and I feel like it's just got a more consistent overall quality to it. It still lacks in terms of that overall clarity, and that's the one thing I don't really care for on this system, but at a price premium of $565, I think it's a pretty good system. You're kind of getting what you pay for. I would have preferred to pay another $500 and get that better overall clarity, but I think that for most buyers, in terms of balancing that sound quality and price, they kind of landed in a good spot. Most people are probably gonna be happy with this system. If you're really picky about your overall sound quality, you're probably not going to like this system, and you may be better off going with a more basic system and upgrading aftermarket. So those are my thoughts on the JBL system for the all-new Tundra. If you enjoyed today's video, or if it was helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and for more videos of the all-new Tundra, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.